Welcome to the season finale of Minor Defense Force Season 1. We are so thankful. We agreed that we'd wait till after I say thank you to... Okay. Anyway, it's our season finale.
On the season finale of Minor Defense Force, meet 30-year-old child predator Kyle Deckard. Going by his real name on the Meet Me app. He messages our decoy playing a 14-year-old girl. And watch as Kyle finds himself...
I need you to sit right there for me.
...in the hot seat.
Welcome to Minor Defense Force, episode 22. On today's show, we meet Kyle, a recently divorced father of two. Can I help you?
Hey man, what you doing?
I'm recording the show.
Right on. Is this the part where you tell your little jokes?
Normally, yes.
That's cool. Are you gonna have a silly song this episode? I like the silly songs.
Maybe so.
Awesome.
Well, if that's all, I'm going to talk to these folks now.
Cool.
Welcome to Minor Defense Force, episode 22. On today's show, we meet Kyle, a recently divorced father of two. We initially meet Kyle on April 22nd, where he's posing on the... What, man?
What's up, dude? Doing the show?
Yes, I'm recording the show. That's what I'm trying to do.
Can I be on it?
I thought we agreed that the writer shouldn't be glamorized. I wouldn't want you to get credit for your enormous gifts.
Yeah, I know you said that. I was just thinking that maybe this once...
Pumpkin, see? You're already less funny. I better hang up before this bit is worse than the next one.
Well, maybe we can make an exception,
Yeah, okay.
because...
Welcome to Minor Defense Force, episode 22. On today's show...
Hey, Chris?
Holy brown donkey genitals! What?
Can I be on the show?
You know what? Sure. What would you like to do? Do you want to introduce the segments? Maybe tell some jokes? Oh, I know. How about you go on the catches and I'll just post arbitrary garbage in the comments section? Would you like that? Is that what you want? Huh? Hell, maybe next time you'll take your shirt off and start yelling at your cats.
Actually, man, I just wanted to say congratulations on the first season. And I really enjoy working with you.
Wow. Thanks, man. It's really nice of you.
No problem. So, can I really do the catch? Chris? Hey, Chris? Chris? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Minor Defense Force episode 22. On today's show, we meet Kyle Deckard, a recently divorced father of two. We initially engage Kyle on April 12th, where he's posting on the Meet Me app, where he's quoted as saying this.
We could have some fun together? Like us without clothes on fun. Well, I'm jacking off. You're really cute. Can I have some pictures? Really quick, I'll go to the restroom. I'm going to try to get this out of me. Tell me to come.
And somehow, it gets worse from there. In some ways, Kyle, a guy who uses Jack Napier tanning products, is perfect for the season finale. He's a pseudo-hipster man-child. Arrogant, smug, destructive, a chronic masturbating grown baby. He's everything that this program stands against. He commits the worst acts, attempts to or does break the worst laws, and seeks out the worst behavior. And you'll see that even Kyle knows it. There's nothing to like about Kyle. Maybe nothing redeemable at all. Even Kyle's face is so punchable that his lips inflated just to save you the effort. But not to worry, because with hair like this, by the time we're done with him, he's gonna wish that we had just punched him. Kyle begins the interaction in mid-April by saying, "Hey, what's up?" And within little time, the decoy begins establishing her youthful age by saying, "Trying to get some biology homework done." We follow it up by saying, "I've got to get it done so I can start driver's ed next week." Kyle disregards this completely obvious revelation and asks, "So what are you looking for on here?" Here the decoy starts to reveal her age by saying she's up for anything, but expresses her fear of getting banned for being too young. Kyle asks, "You're 18, right?" The decoy answers no, as we all witness that Kyle couldn't get a clue with the blue dog in a house made by crayons. The decoy reveals that she's going to be 15 in July, and they agree to continue talking because they won't do anything. Which makes sense because Kyle is 30, but his wardrobe is in its awkward preteen phase. We ask, "What are you looking for?" To which Kyle says, "Fun and friends." The decoy says she is too, and this prompts Kyle to flirt by saying, "Oh, you are?" They both ask what the other means by fun, and they both agree that all kinds is an actual answer. The decoy says that she's there attempting to explore, which allows Kyle to say, "You're only 13, you really shouldn't be exploring." Kyle was told that the decoy would be 15 in July. One of two things is happening here. Either Kyle is talking to so many young girls that he's forgotten this decoy's age, or Kyle thinks that by July, we'll own a flying DeLorean. He immediately goes back on his stance, however, and asks, "What are you wanting to explore?" This question sets up a pattern that will continue for a lot of the chat. Kyle pretends to be disinterested in this youthful girl, but pursues a discussion, revoking his own stances. "Everything," the decoy begins. "Everything I've seen and heard from friends." Kyle retorts by asking, "Can you be more specific?" Kyle asks what we've seen, and we respond, "Movies for adults?" "Oh yeah, those," he says, and the decoy expresses how they make her happy, because the youth of today will never realize the anguish of watching porn with a bad spy plot. Then Kyle asks, "Have you told your parents you saw them?" I'm not even sure what this question is designed to do. I guess if you dye your hair bladder infection green, it's totally normal to talk porn with your mom over meatloaf. This gives us the chance to develop the decoy's backstory. She explains that her father is out of the picture and that her mother works nights. This is a common device we use to lend credibility to the decoy's nighttime availability at such a young age. The decoy asks for a confirmation picture, so we have Kyle hold up the number of your past lives he can see with those thick-ass glasses on. It's at this point that we ask Kyle to switch to texting to avoid having our account banned. Kyle, being very opposed to this minor exploring older men, says, "Sure," and asks for the child's number. The conversation resumes on a Google Voice number where Kyle gets more invested in the child he pretended to dissuade from exploring the conversation that he's having. They talk about his being from Ohio, his moving to North Carolina a few years ago. Kyle talks about wanting a fresh start, and it's at this point that he brings up his recent separation.
"I'm getting a separation with my wife, and then I'll have the house to myself, but my kids are going with her."
The decoy, a fake person with more compassion than this ham-fisted, manipulating crap basket, says, "Your marriage is ending? That stinks. How many kids do you have?" Kyle says that he has 2 kids. Let's hope that they got their hair dye from their mother's side. Then he adds, "But I'm single now, so that's cool." Because nothing says dating material quite like a separated guy disparaging the mother of his children to a 14-year-old while dressed as the Joker, playing the effeminate neighbor on a 70s sitcom. Kyle is pursuing a conversation with the chatter, portraying a much younger girl. She is less than half his age, but he's willing to continue talking despite knowing her intentions, going as far as to switch platforms. but Kyle starts showing signs of recognizing the nature of his activity. I feel like this might be a setup, he offers, to which we send a picture with his handwritten name. Why would you want to be with me? It's a little weird. Kyle, who apparently owns a mirror, expresses concern, but not necessarily at the immoral nature of this pursuit. You seem like you wouldn't hurt me, the decoy responds, but we've missed the message Kyle sends at the same time that says, I shouldn't talk to minors, have a nice day. But he immediately reevaluates and says, let me see your full face. He's weirdly evaluating the consequences, not by considering how likely his cellmate is to enjoy the green hair from behind, but rather on the decoy's appearance. Kyle then sends a picture back demonstrating that his lips are so far removed from the rest of his head, he could grow a full beard without it reaching his chin. We ask about his living arrangements and learn that Kyle's wife has been sentenced to still living with him, obviously as some sort of past life discretion. We learn that her leaving is approaching soon, and then Kyle doubles back to the decoy's age. Are you really 13, he says. We remind him that the decoy is 14 and attempt to go to sleep. Kyle deflects and asks for a full body picture. We comply, and Kyle immediately attempts to stop communication again. Yeah, I don't think so. Have a good night and stay off the meet me and be safe. Feeling that Kyle is making a self-preservation call rather than good judgment, we decide to test his ability to walk away. You're being so weird. Goodbye, we say. Kyle presses on. He says he can't talk to someone young, to which the decoy talks about her former older boyfriend. Kyle says he doesn't feel comfortable, and we make no attempt to relieve that. It's fine, Kyle, the decoy says, and gives him the chance to walk away. But Kyle doesn't. He excuses the conversation by setting parameters. No dirty talk. But, he adds, we must be G-rated on here, opening the door to another place entirely. Then he says, I'm officially cutting this off. I only talk to people who are legal. Again, have a good life. It's easy to read this as a conflicted person acting out his struggle in real time. If so, it might go like this.
Hey, Kyle, why are you talking to that young girl? Is it because we're so vile that we couldn't get hired to be the Hamburglar's fluffer on the set of a McOrgy?
Like, what are you talking about, brah? I'm a young dude just trying to live my truth.
Yeah. Does that truth come with some shampoo and a 5-year plan?
Screw you, man. I'm single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. Does gay Batman really despise you in your universe, Kyle?
I'm like the coolest. My hair, my little cat, my glasses, my cosplay.
Yeah. Soon you'll have to cosplay as someone with visitation rights.
What? No, man, I'm single and young, bro. I don't even have kids.
Well, you're trying to have a 14-year-old. Okay, well, bye, Kyle. Let's do this again real soon. Same bat time. Same bat channel.
But the truth is, we don't know this for sure. Kyle could be reacting to his wife seeing the messages. Kyle could be experiencing drug-related manic behaviors. Or, and most likely, Kyle is just buying time until his wife is out of the area. What are you up to? Kyle says the following day. The two talk about showers, where they live, the school that the decoy attends. They talk about her cheerleading, Kyle's cosplay, Kyle's bath routine, and the decoy's availability. Suddenly, Kyle says, you want me to come over? And the decoy says, what you want to do? What would you like me to do? Whatever you want, we respond. What would you like? He asks. Whatever you want, we respond. What are you wanting to do? Kyle says. Tell me, we say. No, you say it, says Kyle. And suddenly the conversation is your parents deciding where they're going to eat for dinner. With the conversation now in the meeting phase and the talk centered around vague but obvious sexual innuendos, I'm fairly confident that we can catch Kyle before he snares Batman in his electrocution death trap. What are you wanting to do? The decoy says again. What don't I want to do with you? Kyle responds. Tell me what you want me to do with you, he adds yet again, putting the burden on this child to specify the explicit details. Anything you want, babe. We say, making sure to not instigate. You're getting me all riled up now, Kyle says, and we have firmly landed in a sexual conversation. We ask what the results will be, and Kyle introduces masturbation into the conversation by saying, "Can you talk?" To which the decoy explains that she's in class. Kyle responds by saying, "I should probably take care of it myself then." Kyle goes back into his games by attempting to make the young girl specify her wants. She explains that she's a virgin, that her older boyfriend didn't know what to do, that she needs to be taught. Kyle, now oddly more hormonally balanced since handling it, says, "I don't think I should do that. It wouldn't be right." And have a guy your age do that. He's also using emojis to emphasize a playful nature. And Kyle's spirit animal is a spiteful 6-year-old. But what Kyle's really doing is a very bad push-pull routine whereby he attempts to make his intentions more attractive by pretending to take them off the table. In sales, this is referred to as the puppy dog close. You hand the customer the item, you let them use it, and you tell them it's not for sale. The desired effect is to make the customer sell you on why they deserve your product and possibly be willing to pay more than sticker price. But Kyle's routine is spotty, obvious, and Kyle couldn't sell ice cubes to the rich in a blue flaming hell. So the decoy responds by saying, "Keep being weird, I guess." This is referred to as demonstrating the power to walk away. Kyle says he doesn't want to go to jail, and he comments on his appreciation of the law, because Kyle's law includes asking a 14-year-old to call you during her class time in order for you to masturbate to a soundtrack. Then a weird thing happens. Kyle leaves the conversation. Depending on the nature of the conversation, we may decide to let a predator walk out of the conversation without attempting further contact. We try not to deal in matters of word games and vague intentions. As civilians, we're not looking to set up catches where the chat logs are so indeterminate that the predator can claim their innocence. Most of those dialogues you may never see, or we're still working toward the outcome on. But in Kyle's case, there's an established interest in sexual conversation, graphic material, and an attempted contact beyond the screen. Because Kyle fancies himself as some knowing purveyor of attraction games, I've set my sights on catching this guy. So I wait. Sporadically, Kyle makes minimal contact. First in May, then later, then in June. But this time, Kyle's life has changed. And though he tries to employ his pedestrian pleasure delaying techniques, Kyle has come back to the conversation as the very real him. He first asks who the number belongs to, immediately asking the girl to qualify herself to him. When the decoy reminds him, Kyle tells her that he now lives alone, minus his separated wife and children. Kyle changes subjects because subconsciously, he isn't comfortable discussing his adult world in a scenario where adults shouldn't be discussing a damn thing. "What have you been up to?" he asks, and formats the text to appear more youthful. The decoy says she's out of school for the summer. Kyle explains that he's looking for people to hang out with and goes right back into his favorite sport, the "what do you want to do" Olympics. But this Kyle is more revealing. He doesn't have the presence of his adult life looming over him, and so he quickly adds, "We could have some fun together." "Like us without clothes on fun," he says. "What if I'm not good?" the decoy responds, and Kyle immediately offers to show her while falling for the same sales technique that he failed to use properly. "Send me a pic right now," Kyle demands, and begs, "Come on, please." We send a harmless photo of the girl with ice cream on her head. In return, we ask for one back, and Kyle responds by saying, "You want to see me or see me?" "I'm having a little fun right now," Kyle says, and continues to mimic the speech pattern of a younger person. At this point, Kyle sends a picture of his genitals, and I resist, with everything inside of me, to stop from saying, "Why so serious?" "What if it hurts?" the decoy replies. Kyle promises to be gentle, but adds, "We aren't going to do that right off the bat. That would be weird." Really, dude? Let's talk about weird for a minute. Remember when McDonald's made a pizza? That was weird. Remember the first time you saw Malcolm's dad in his crotch holster? That was weird. Remember that time where you opened a birthday card, you saw $100, but you had to stand there like a jerk, reading someone's intimate thoughts about you to a room full of people, as written by Hallmark, while pretending it was way more important than the $100? That is weird. You've gone way past weird, Kyle. You're one plot twist away from being a Twilight Zone episode. And not even the good Twilight Zone. You're more like that terrible version from a couple years ago. Because we all know how it's going to end, and it wasn't even that interesting to begin with. Kyle resumes the fast track the following day by blatantly asking, "Can I see you naked?" For those of you playing MDF, the home version, that's another chargeable offense to the growing list that Kyle has managed in only 2 days. The decoy says she's sick and not sure about sending pictures. Kyle, ever the concerned white knight that he is, replies, "Well, I'm jacking off." That's the 3rd time that Kyle has masturbated during our discussions. It's at this point that I realize Kyle has a chronic issue with self-pleasure and an apparent open tab with Kleenex. "Do you jerk it all the time?" the decoy asks. Kyle admits that he does and asks specifically for a picture of her face. Kyle, having performed his hourly tasks, tells the decoy to get some sleep. It's at that point that Kyle starts circling the basis for a meeting date. They discuss the day's plans, and Kyle again asks the decoy to qualify her intentions by resuming to the "what do you want to do" thread. I remind Kyle that he sent his head member via picture and pushed the burden back on him. Kyle clarifies by saying they can cuddle or fool around, or they can just have sex. He talks about taking her to his home and asks for her address. The decoy responds by saying that a store would feel safer, and we begin baiting Kyle into a public atmosphere. The timelines don't seem to link up, and so Kyle thinks of a quick plan to remedy the scenario and masturbates again. Kyle again asks for pictures and then says, "I really need to jack off before I get back on the road. Really quick. I'll go to the restroom." Kyle asks for audio but is denied. He engages in sexting and imposes her into his fantasy scenario, which is happening in a public restroom. To talk to us about this horrific experience, we're now joined live via satellite by the victim, Gas Station Toilet. Are you there, Mr. Toilet?
You can just call me Frank.
Thanks for joining us, Frank. Frank, take us back to that horrible day.
Well, I'd say it started fairly normal. Nothing spectacular. Truckers. An occasional crackhead. But then everything went crazy.
Can you talk about your experience?
It's painful. I was just sitting there, and suddenly a man walked in. At first I thought he'd vomited on himself, but it turned out to just be his hair color.
Tell us what happened next, Frank.
He turned to me, and I could see his face, and it was awful. He looked like Mr. Potato Head when you placed the mouth too low.
And that's when the incident happened?
Yeah, that's when he made the deposit.
That's horrible, Frank. What's in store for you now?
Well, now I just need time to heal, Chris. I've taken time off for soul searching. I might try being a bird bath or working with dogs. I just can't live in a world where this kind of thing can happen. I bought a guitar, and I'm writing music about it. You can check me out on Spotify.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Frank.
Thank you, Chris. Goodbye.
The following day, Kyle resumes an almost exact pattern of this behavior, except he's kicked up the masturbation to include new stakes. He asks for pictures. He compliments the decoy and says that he's located in his car. He talks about being erect and parked somewhere outside of work. He admits to being able to see people while he exposes himself. He then sends a picture of his penis with the steering wheel located in view. So either he's teaching his little guy to drive, or Kyle is engaged in public masturbation. The back and forth continues, with the predator squarely focused on a meeting time. But an hour and a half after Kyle's last self-help routine, he asks for more pictures. The decoy says no and states, "Every time I send pics, you jerk off and tell me you don't want me anymore." This prompts Kyle to promise that the meeting will take place that evening. We ask him to meet at the Lowe's Foods located in Lewisville, North Carolina. Instead, Kyle asks to meet in a more private area with open space. Kyle ensures the meeting context by directly asking, "Do you want to have sex?" He hesitates and mentions the criminal aspect of meeting for sex. But Kyle's weird mania is expressing itself as almost two separate conversations. He says maybe we'll just talk, but follows it up by saying, I'm sure we'll warm up to each other pretty quick. Kyle promises that he hasn't engaged in masturbation after receiving another picture from us and says, why? Do you want to do it for me? We ask about his current attire to better identify him, and Kyle starts playing a new game. He tells us he's located at the Lewisville Town Square, a location he's attempted to move the meeting to already, despite being told to meet at the Lowe's to make the child feel more secure. Kyle is trying to be cautious by fighting his urge to meet the decoy in an exposed environment. He questions her motives for meeting, refuses to leave his location until she has safely arrived at Lowe's, and won't share the details of his vehicle until the child is on site. We ask Kyle to purchase items at Lowe's as a means to draw him to the building and out of his car. Though he's wary to comply, he finally does. He purchases the decoy's requests and heads towards the Lowe's exit. Finally, after months of chatting, tons of weekly played mind games, and suffering through the never-ceasing cycle of Kyle's masturbation habits, finally, we meet Kyle face to face. Let's back up a minute.
Oh, they've got him tied down. Oh, there's chairs sitting here.
Recently, me and the co-creator of this show have been discussing ways to isolate the predators better. We're looking to avoid music, loud cars, and those moments when your family stops by during a catch to talk about getting together.
Hey, Mark, keep going.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
You know, we may have Malia's son.
Yeah.
Getting ready to have twins, maybe.
Oh, is he?
We thought, maybe we'll catch them in open parking lots, unfold a chair and have them sit down. It might look something like this. So, imagine my surprise to discover that Lowe's Foods had taken the time to provide the chairs for me.
He's behind you right now. Give it to me. Hey, Kyle, come here and have a seat real quick. Come here and have a seat real quick. We need to have a talk. If you run, it's going to be worse. So, I need you to sit right there for me.
Okay.
Thank you. Are you Kyle Deckard?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. So, I'm trying to figure out who you're here to meet today.
I didn't want to meet.
Kyle, dressed as his inner child, says he didn't want to meet, which is terrible for him, considering that he's at the exact location, at the exact time, in the exact circumstances that he didn't want to meet in.
I didn't want to meet her tonight.
Okay, so tell me about that.
I just wanted to talk tonight and say I'm come clean.
Okay, what are we going to come clean about?
The person who was underage, I did not want to do that tonight.
Kyle says he's only come to Lowe's to come clean, but let's be real. Kyle has come so clean that he should be a ghost by now.
Not tonight.
No, not ever.
Not ever. Well,
No.
you know the texts
Yeah.
say otherwise.
Okay.
You starting it up? All right, that's fine. Okay. Well, the texts say otherwise, Kyle, so we should go through this real quick. You're 30 years old?
Yes.
And you just moved here from Ohio?
Yes.
Are you from here originally, or? Like I saw you
no.
had some addresses attached to Lewisville.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio.
As the reality of this situation is hitting Kyle, he begins constructing the dreaded, I'm here to say I'm not going to do things defense.
So you asked this girl what she was looking for. She told you that she was underage. You asked if she was 18, and she told you no. Do you remember how old she told you she was?
I believe 15.
14. She said, I'm turning 15 in July, which would make her how old?
15.
Kyle, obviously suffering brain fog from not having masturbated in the past 10 minutes, forgets how to count.
I was gonna say I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, so why'd you get her the chocolate milk?
Just to give it to her and say, look, I just want to talk. Because I said I just want to talk. In the last.
Today.
No, I just want to talk. I don't want.
But I'm saying you didn't say that till today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to talk today. I don't want somebody this underage to be, you know, it's not right.
Okay.
Like, it's not right. It's,
Well, I agree with you because you're 30, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle explains the vile-headed nature of sexualizing a minor. He defines that activity as wrong and tells us that he showed up specifically to end discussions with the decoy, immediately removing himself from the guilt or having already committed crimes. You know, like sending explicit images to a minor, public masturbation, requesting child pornography, meeting an underage person for the purposes of sex, transporting an underage person for the purposes of sex, attempted kidnapping, and wearing that dumb thing on his head and calling it a hat.
So I agree with you At what point did you realize it wasn't right to be talking sexually with a 13, 14-year-old?
Today.
So it took you 3 months because you guys started talking back in April. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was gonna literally block the number, and I had done it before.
So why'd you unblock it?
Just I don't know. She had reached out and it expired. So.
What do you mean? She reached out how?
Just texting.
I make some general agreements with Kyle in order to make him explain his rationale. I agree that he shouldn't be talking to the minor, and this allows me to hear about Kyle's wild number blocking story. This is Kyle's phone. This is a number that Kyle blocked. This is the messages Kyle gets from our decoy, because this is a lying monster blaming the child that he never blocked.
Yeah, well, it expires after a while.
Oh, the block expires?
Yeah.
Is that your real number or is that like a texting app?
That is my real number.
Okay, so when you block a number, it expires. I've never heard of that. I'm not saying you're wrong. What kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android and I switched services.
Okay.
I switched from Verizon to Straight Talk.
This segment has been brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, the industry leader in only sorta not wanting to talk with people.
Well, I have to come clean about something.
Apparently, this episode has a theme?
Okay.
I'm Amanda.
Okay.
Everybody, say it with me in 3, 2, 1.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay.
You've been talking to me for 3 months.
Okay.
So I already know everything that was said between us.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, in North Carolina, as long as you believe that person's underage, what you're doing is wrong. Okay?
And that's why I don't want to do it because.
Okay, but you said, did you send pictures of your penis?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Kyle is staying with his I'm here to save the day story. Let's see how that fits in with showing him the graphic pictures he sent to the supposed child.
That's you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you sent that to a 13/14-year-old girl. The age is in question, but either way, underage, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so why did you send her that if you just wanted to, be friends?
She was, yeah, I don't know. I was out of my mind. I need to not do that.
And finally, Kyle says something true.
I need to be focusing better. I need to be taking care of my kids.
Yeah.
Focusing and getting my mind straight.
So what part of your mind is not straight for this to have occurred this evening? And actually for the past 3 months. This isn't a one and done, right? So some of these predators that we catch,
Okay.
same day. You, since April, right?
Yeah.
So why'd you keep it going?
Yeah, you're right.
Kyle is fidgeting, he's jerky, and his facade is running. After months of feeling superior to a child by using elementary level attraction games and after pretend stops and starts, all designed to reach a sexual peak, Kyle has lost control of the narrative because Kyle was never in control.
You've talked very sexually, and she sent you some pictures the past few days, and you've masturbated every time, and then told her you didn't want to be with her anymore.
Yeah.
Is that post-nut clarity?
Yeah, that's. I said, hey, this is not right, and I realized.
Well, that's not what you said to her.
Kyle doesn't experience the clarity of post-nut because we all know that to Kyle, there's no such place as post-nut.
But you never said, hey, it's because of your age. You never said that.
And that's what I was gonna come tonight. It's not right.
So you scheduled to meet her tonight, asking her if she wanted to play with your wiener tonight. You said that. Would you like to play with it tonight?
No.
You didn't?
Oh, I did.
You did say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you brought her the chocolate milk just like she asked for it, right? You picked her up where she asked you to be. So what point of this was, oh, I'm a mentor, we should probably just call this off?
Like right now. I don't want to do this.
Are you deciding it because you met me and not a 13/14-year-old girl?
No.
See, I don't believe that, and you know that's hard.
I could take a detector test right now.
Kyle claims that he could pass a lie detector test, and we here at the MDF Science Labs have developed a technology to do just that. Let's watch this real-time technical marvel in action.
Can you put your wrist on my finger? Did you know that how old she was?
Yes.
Were you going to have sex with her tonight?
No.
That says you lied.
Science!
That's you in the proof photo, right?
Yeah.
That's you. Okay. So you're not in any way, shape, or form denying that you were the guy I was chatting with for 3 months?
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. So, you talked to her about sex. You asked her if you're really 13. Oh, this is where she clears you up and says, no, I'm 14, turning 15 in July. You're the one who said 13. It was a typo. Okay, so is 14 illegal?
Yes.
Okay. Were you chatting with a girl that's illegal?
Yes.
Were you planning or at least talking about sexual stuff with a girl that's clearly illegal?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we're having this conversation, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not forcing you to sit there.
Okay.
Okay, I gave you a seat so you could be comfortable. Okay? I'm not the cops. I just want to talk to you. Okay, so originally you did say, but no dirty talk, that's straight up illegal. So you admitted that back on April 13th. Mm-hmm. It's now June 20, what? 9th? It's June 29th now.
Yeah.
Right? So talk to me about the story progression from April 13th to today, where you say then you're not going to talk sexual because it's illegal, but yet here we are today, over 3 months. I want to hear your side of the story, and here's why. Those people can see the chats.
Okay.
Okay? I don't want them to draw their own conclusions. I want to give you an opportunity to tell your side of this story. So I'm going to stop talking. Tell your side.
I felt like it was getting more escalated and more escalated. I mean, I was wondering why they kept texting me back when I said no, like honestly, and I didn't want to do anything today.
Kyle, who is now rocking back and forth, which is either physical manifestation of his fears or an oddly timed sailboat impression, is now attempting to lie about his intent. But we know his intent because you wrote it down via electronic delivery and we saved it.
Is there any way that I can work and provide for my family still?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not arresting you.
Okay.
Okay? This does get posted. You know, we do send our information to the detectives and police in Forsyth County. You live in Stokes County. I also know a detective up there. I'll probably send it to him. But I don't think being a child predator makes it to where you can never work again.
Kyle is starting to realize that his stories aren't working, and he begins to question the circumstances of this newfound reality. He brings up his family and uses their well-being as an excuse to be exonerated, despite knowing that we aren't the police.
Will I go to jail? I mean,
I can't say because I'm not a police officer, okay? Here's what I know. Have people gone to jail that we've caught? Yes. Have people not gone to jail we've caught? Yes. Your texts are a little more damning because you did send multiple pictures of your penis.
Which, considering how often he masturbates, is an amazing level of multitasking.
But you sent her your penis and you said you wanted her to touch your penis tonight, right? You said that.
Yeah, I said that. But
okay.
I'm.
So if your concern is your family and your kids and your ex-wife and all this other stuff, then why'd you do that?
I literally can't give a definite answer.
Did you hear it? He couldn't give a what?
I literally can't give a definite answer.
Let's hear it slowed down.
I literally can't give a...
I agree with your intended statement, Kyle.
So, I mean, honestly, tonight, I think it's not right. Like, in my head, it was nice to meet somebody who was nice and kind, but like that somebody that young is just, I mean, I know I sent things.
Yeah.
I know I thought about things, but
yeah.
I don't think I could fully go through with something like that.
Okay, so if you had not shown up, I could probably believe that, right? Mm-hmm. You put her off a couple times, but there was never really a scheduled meetup until tonight. There's been hints at it, you've asked about it, you've talked about it, but you never actually scheduled it. This is the first scheduled meetup, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what makes it hard for me, okay? Now there's a lot of text to go through here.
Kyle has proven to be a person more comfortable in a lie than in the truth. He shifts and stammers. He prods and attempts to make a story that may be plausible. But he can't. Kyle demonstrated all of the worst traits of our worst predators. There's no other story than that.
What are you up to tonight? Want me to come over? This was at 6:09 on April 13th. So you've asked to come over before. Are you free tonight? Are you free tonight? Are you free tonight? This happens multiple times, Kyle. Mm-hmm. You're telling me over 3 months you had no problem with her age until today.
Well, I thought her parents were going to be home. I mean, honestly, like...
What did her parents being home have anything to do with this? She told you she was with her aunt and her cousin today at the mall. Mm-hmm. So at what point does that go, you know what? She's 13, 14, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? 13, 14 doesn't matter. At what point did you go, you know what? Yeah, I don't care that she's underage. I don't want to do this anymore. When did that click for you?
like literally tonight. I was literally,
Like you were already parked over at the square?
I was like literally like, okay, I'm gonna meet her and I'm just gonna be like, hey, like, don't even get out of the car. Like, here's this.
You were going to
take
tell
it,
that
I'm
while
gonna
she was
go.
in the car with her aunt, not to get out of the car. So your plan was to what? Talk to the aunt?
Well, no, she was gonna walk home because she lives there.
Right.
And be like, hey, no.
You said before she gets out of the car, tell her not to get out of the car. But
mean-
she told you her aunt was dropping her off, so she would have already been out of the car. So at what point? While she's in the car with her aunt, you're just gonna walk up and be like, hey, don't get out of there. Ma'am, your kid's here to have sex with me and I'm 30 years old and I sent her my dick pics, but don't you do it. Is that what you're telling me? Because I'm trying to understand.
I'm saying, I'm sorry, there's a lot going on.
I know that. I'm standing right here. I know. It's a shitty situation you're in. You found yourself in a really bad situation right now.
I did.
Okay. So here, let's do this. Let's pretend I'm Amanda. You're Kyle.
We now present Master Force Theater.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, we shouldn't be doing this
Why not?
because you're too young.
But why are you just now telling me that?
Because it took to meeting face to face to realize that this is wrong.
Oh, is it because I'm ugly?
No, you're too young.
I'm too young. Okay.
Too young.
So in that little role play we just did, our cosplay here, you said I had to see you in person to realize you're too young. Why? It's an interesting thing to say.
It's different when you see somebody face to face.
Yeah, especially if it's my face instead of a 14-year-old girl's face. Kyle, of course, couldn't have rethought his position on sleeping with Amanda after meeting Amanda because Kyle didn't meet Amanda face to face. Even evil Kyle knows this excuse is weak sauce. Like, this lie doesn't even make sense, bro.
So why would it have taken you to see her to notice the difference? Like, this is inappropriate because this is a child. Besides on the text when she tells you, hi, I'm a child. Here's a picture of me and my favorite 8th grade teacher because I'm out of school for the summer. Like, she sent you that. And then she sent you a picture with the Harlem Globetrotters where she looks even younger, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So why did it take you seeing her in person to then go, oh, now you're too young? Or is it because you got caught and you're trying to save face?
After months of dealing with Kyle's insulting level of manipulation, I throw in his face that his story is easily decipherable garbage.
You were driving to Ohio, is that correct?
For my dad's funeral.
Oh, Kyle. I can't even believe where we're headed.
So you're driving back from the funeral, you decide to stop.
This is the worst, Kyle. This behavior is the ice cream with ketchup on top equivalent to horrible sex stuff.
In a bathroom.
Yeah.
You ask Amanda for pictures.
Yeah.
She sends them. And what do?
I masturbated.
You masturbated. Okay.
Yep. Kyle didn't just stop to masturbate in a public bathroom to the G-rated photos of a minor. Kyle stopped to masturbate to the G-rated photos of a minor on the way back from his father's own funeral.
Is that something that you deal with? Is that a disorder, or are you just a 30-year-old who just wants to get it off a lot?
I get it off a lot.
Because leaving a funeral, stopping at a gas station to jerk off to a 13 and 14-year-old is a little weird, right? It's a little strange. So does it help you with dealing with stuff? Like, what's the purpose for you?
It just relieves some stress.
Some stress.
That must be a lot of stress. NASA doesn't operate under the type of conditions that lead to stress like Kyle must have. Kyle has lots and lots and lots of stress. Lots, apparently.
Like, hey, you know it. I fucking know it. You know it.
I do, in fact, fucking know it.
People know who we are, dude.
Oh, I know.
Okay. How do you know?
I mean, you look pretty legit.
Maybe yes and maybe no. But I'm not out here meeting children dressed as a guy with a one-day gym pass and in a junior's cap. On the other hand, I'm not wearing pants right now. So maybe it's subjective.
I honestly don't know. I just think I was going through a lot.
Okay, fine. Kyle is going through a lot. Divorce, his kids, his dad, being alone. That is a lot. But it's a lot for the people around Kyle too. And now he's on video being caught attempting to meet a minor for sex. That impacts everyone around him. Full disclosure, This catch that you're watching right now has been available to our members since the day it happened. In that time, we have had the chance to talk to some folks in Kyle's circle. This whole ordeal has been painful for them. We realize when these videos go up that more people will be impacted than just the child predator. This will change the world of very innocent, very shocked people. But we also know that Kyle can't be on this video without showing up to meet this child. The fact is, most predators are habitually predatory. But social accountability is the most likely way to keep them from repeating the behavior. It's for this reason that addicts attend meetings. It keeps them accountable, even if they'd rather be using. And no, that doesn't always work. I can't speak to how Kyle ended up going through the things that caused him stress prior to meeting the decoy. But the stress that Kyle has caused during and afterwards rests squarely on him. The stress he caused himself and the victims around him are Kyle's responsibility. At this point, as we continue talking, a police officer arrives. I quickly address the situation and bring him up to speed on what he's walked into.
Hey, I'm Chris with the Minor Defense Force.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, Mills.
What's going on?
This is 30-year-old Kyle Deckard.
Okay.
Sent some pictures of his penis over the past 3 months and was here to meet a 14-year-old girl for sexual intercourse today. Has admitted it on camera. I mean, you're welcome to talk to him. I've got all the texts, you know. I got all the evidence. It's everything.
Okay.
I'll show it to you if you want it.
Do you just pose as...
Yes, because in the state of North Carolina, as long as they believe it's a person underage. And actually, Detective Faircloth and I, we had an arrest with Thomas DeBona and Clemens
Okay.
about a month and a half ago. You might be aware of it?
I'm not aware.
Okay, that's fine.
So you know Faircloth?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you just said set up an arrangement to meet?
Yeah, so basically 3 months ago, he messaged our decoy on Meet Me,
Okay.
which is where it is. We pose his profiles. We never message first.
Okay.
He messaged first. He's the first to go sexual. He was the first to send, I never sent any nudes. He sent his penis pictures twice over the past couple days. He wanted to meet tonight. Here we are at Lowe's. He showed up and bought the chocolate milk I asked him to get.
Okay.
Then when he got here and I got here, he told me, well, I was going to tell her I didn't want to do it because she was too young. But here we are.
We alert the police department who show up to understand the nature of our call. But be forewarned, this catch is happening inside of Winston-Salem Police Department jurisdiction. If you've ever watched our program, you may be aware that we've experienced difficulty in getting prosecutions in this area. In fact, what you're watching will be the last catch to ever take place inside of the Winston-Salem Police Department jurisdiction. To balance that, we've worked diligently to establish lawful connections in the surrounding areas, and we've already begun chats with scumbags in cities far and wide for Season 2. But if you're looking for a satisfying ending, it won't be on this episode. In other words, Humperdinck lives.
We're going to give you our information and then we'll rotate around.
The officer asks for our evidence and our personal information, so we take turns providing the info while Kyle watches the pavement. And since we're busy, it's a great time for Kyle to sit there and delete his texts.
Don't erase anything.
And since we're all just hanging out, Kyle makes a phone call. Sometimes he tells some truths. And other times he tells some lies.
First time we met somebody that wanted us meal.
Yeah. As soon as I walked
This is not what happened. As you've seen in the texts yourself, Kyle chose to continue messaging and would apologize for the times when he decided to not message anymore. We gave him many opportunities to walk away.
Maybe they can give me some help or something.
He even spouts out a good idea, although it's an idea that we have heard before, and we've been taught to not believe it.
Yeah.
Everybody from MDF, do me a favor, just come over here and stand with this deputy. I'll speak with him, and we'll explain everything to
Okay.
you. Yeah, yeah, you can just go. We got enough. Just go.
Well, I'm not going to cut. I don't have to cut the cameras.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, this deputy over here is going to explain some stuff to you. He needs to ask you some questions.
That's fine.
Okay. And then he'll explain how this is going to proceed.
Can you talk to us at one at a time?
I prefer if it's a group so I can speak with him alone.
Okay. You want to speak with him alone? Understood.
At this point, we're asked to allow the officer room to ask Kyle some questions, and we wait for an outcome that we already know is coming.
Yeah, no, Xander.
Oh, you called the cops?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As more officers arrive, we decide to inch closer, and we instantly hear,
I got all their information. Right now, you're free to go.
and Kyle is free to go about his day. Kyle says he's in need of help. We're not here to determine whether or not that's the case, but from what we've seen before, Kyle never fit the model of a person debating his attraction or willingness to prey on a 14-year-old child. Kyle is 30, and while there may be obscure opinions and subjective attitudes about a younger man, maybe in his early 20s or younger, acting in his willingness to engage a teenager, there's no question that at 30, kids look like kids. Kyle's back and forth with the decoy always came across as part of an attraction building routine. It felt that he was playing games designed to make the decoy more eager. As with every catch, we've submitted this information, videos, and all materials over to the proper authorities. And while we don't know what punishment may be pursued, we can confirm that Kyle Deckard, a 30-year-old man from Tobaccoville, North Carolina, solicited and attempted to meet a 14-year-old girl for the purposes of sex. At the very least, the community now knows this information, and perhaps our meeting with Kyle prevented the actual harm of a very real child. During this first season, we've learned quite a lot. The story for us as a program was a story about real people binding together to create something that has evolved into what the show is now. When we started the MDF, the co-creator and myself set out to ask if a market existed for a different type of predator catching internet show. Because of your support, we were lucky enough to find that market. This show is equal parts catching, writing, and performance. We make a show that's not like everything else, and that gives you the ability to watch different types of approaches and to like different content makers for their own distinct reasons. This show is for entertainment, and we place all of our seriousness into the hours and hours it requires to bring it to you each and every week. Our program requires a catching team that make this content possible, and a pre-production team that includes writing, editing, and workshopping. We've created the show that we want to see, and we recognize there's tremendous growth still to be done. We plan to do just that. Thank you for subscribing, for giving me the chance to do something unique and give it a shot, and above all else, for allowing me to yell at my cats while you sit there and watch. Thank you for watching the live catches as they occur, and a massive thank you to our members who support the catching team as well as the writing team. That's me and this guy, who sculpt those catches into this weird construct that becomes this show. We hope you'll continue to support us into Season 2, and we will continue to live stream the catches as they occur. For all of us at MDF, thank you for being a part of this experience. And for our members, remember that we will be discussing this show immediately after the premiere on our new live program, Talking Pred. There's no minor crime when that crime involves a minor. And that will remain into our next season, where our force will never be too minor. During this first season, we've learned a ton. The story for... During this season...